So they keep cutting down our statues and we're supposed to be okay with it? Let's talk about it. It seems like every other week we receive news that yet another one of our nation's statues have been vandalised. Every time I receive this news, I'm sadly hardly surprised. Recently, in my home state of Victoria, numerous statues have been vandalised, graffitied, sawn off at the ankles, had paint thrown onto them, etc. Such as in the case of the statue of our great explorer, Captain Cook, which was sawn off at the ankles and the mount on which of the statue set graffitied with the words, "The colony will fall," spray painted in red.
Steve, the landmark Captain Cook statue in St Kilda was sawn at the ankles about 3:30 this morning, leaving nothing but feet. Vandals used red spray paint to write "The colony will fall" on the plinth. The metal statue was found toppled off its stone. Most locals were shocked and disheartened by the act. A small minority have welcomed it.
I think this is such a beautiful statement.
Who the culprits were is really anyone's guess. When it comes to haters of Western civilization, we are spoilt for choice. Was it a Greens voter? Was it a Labor voter? Was it a Liberal voter? But I repeat myself, spoilt for choice. Many of our political parties, disgracefully, have either promoted anti-Western sentiment, have encouraged it, or have done nothing about it. The Prime Minister, Mr Albanese, needs to understand that his continual undermining of Australia Day and the Labor Party's stubborn refusal to put the Australian flag front and centre has very grave consequences.
In Sydney, thousands of people marked Australia Day by taking part in a protest march. Calls to change the date of the National Day have been growing in recent years. Demonstrators say it celebrates colonisation and the dispossession of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. This year's protests included a sizable Palestinian representation, with some participants drawing comparisons between the experiences of Indigenous Australians and Palestinians.
I can clearly see this country for what it is, a brutal colony that seeks to maintain supremacy, racism and injustice.
His refusal to celebrate European settlement and all the benefits it brought is a wink to those who hate this country, and it's telling them that they have permission to do so, and worse. Perhaps it was a climate change activist, a left-wing extremist, or someone inspired by the divisiveness of some members of our very own parliament right here in Australia. I know what you're thinking. It's highly possible that those responsible were a toxic brew of all three, especially in the socialist state of Victoria, where anti-Australian CO2 phobes are all too common. The vandals may have been from the ranks of the growing unemployed. Then again, they could well have been highly paid academics from one of our many Marxist indoctrination centres. I'm sorry, I mean our universities.
That was harsh, but accurate.
The sad fact is that while the number of people who love this country far exceeds those who do not, the haters are well organised, well supported, and growing increasingly emboldened. The vandals are historically illiterate. Captain James Cook wasn't even alive when the first fleet arrived in Botany Bay, but that doesn't worry them. The vandals are hypocritical, enjoying the prosperity that European settlement provided whilst undermining it at the very same time. They don't even care. The vandals are not just those who cut down our statues. The true vandals are the cultural wreckers in the Senate, in the universities, and in the corporate offices like those of Cricket Australia and Woolworths. Those who felled the statue must be hounded down and punished. Those who would destroy our National Day must be continually boycotted. Those who hide our flag, talk down European settlement, and promote a black armband view of our history must be voted out of office. Ours is a wonderful nation, enjoying prosperity and freedom unmatched throughout most of human history. And none of it was by accident. The arrival of the Brits, with their Judeo-Christian ethic, enhanced over the years by thousands of migrants who worked hard to build this nation, has created a country that is the envy of the world. Or at least it was. Only when the vandals are dealt with, all of them, will our nation be great again. I'm Senator Babette. for the United Australia Party.